Cheers, Sagittarius. Welcome to Esoteric Tales and Tarot. This is your October Psychic and Tarot monthly reading for 2023. I said cheers because I'm having a lovely turmeric latte tea here in Melbourne, Victoria, and it's been a beautiful day. I have been out with my crystal ball earlier today doing some scrying. I've written down your messages this morning when the beautiful sunshine was out and I could really get the energy of the crystal ball. And I thought, I need to do this a bit later, and actually decided that the perfect decks for this month would be the Everyday Witch Tarot by Deborah Blake and art by Elisabeth, Alba. And this is, of course, to celebrate Halloween, which is at the end of the month, so just a bit of fun here. And I'm also going to clarify the tarot portion of the reading with Barbara Walker's tarot. Again, this kind of great 1980s, I'd call him I guess a wizard type energy here. And we've got the 1980s very cool deck. So both of these decks I've done an unboxing for on my YouTube channel. You can check those out, bit of fun. I also have a lovely Illuminé message from this beautiful deck from Janice, who lives down in New Zealand in the very southern tip of the southern island, South Otago. I hope I'm saying it correctly. But Janice did her own psychic reading for me years ago, and these cards came to me in a very funny fashion a little while after I had that reading with her years ago. And I'm going to do a story about that on my tarot channel at some stage about how those cards came to me. So I was saying cheers to you because I was clearing my throat, which I found that both times when I've tried to do Sagittarius, I felt as though I've had something stuck in my throat. I was kind of like, gosh, feels like I've got a frog in my throat. So I'm wondering whether you're having a bit of issues with your throat chakra this month of October. So that will be interesting to keep an eye on. Some other messages that I got for you when I was scrying with my crystal ball. So we had a giant yawn as well that I had. So are you tired? Are you being sort of drained? Are you just feeling like you're not getting on top of your sleep, or like there's just an unusual kind of tiredness? Like, doesn't matter how much you prep up your energy, you've kind of got this draining sort of feeling. So I just felt that there was this general malaise and tiredness. I also saw very clearly in the crystal ball two feathers, and then a kind of unusual, special looking bird. It looked otherworldly to me, and it did a funny kind of maneuver, I want to call it, something quite outstanding and unusual. It sort of flipped around and was doing this funny and then just sort of disappeared. And I thought, keep an eye out for a special bird that might appear, and look around for what's going on at that time. You might see a bird or I'm thinking a bird, but it could be another type, and it'll do something quite unusual in front of you in the month of October. And just keep in mind of what your thoughts were at that time, or look at your surroundings, your environment, and take note of what's around, because it could be a special message, or it could be a special message from a loved one in spirit. But I thought, it was so clear and so otherworldly, and zoomed in and did that. And I thought, I feel like you're going to see something quite unusual in the, out in there, out as you're just doing something normal. It'll be quite kind of surprising, all of a sudden. I also must have been a month for birds, because I saw a wishbone out of a chicken, the bones that are where you snap it in half. And you do a competition as a kid, you hold one end with another and you pull it, and then you get the wish if you had the main part. So it was weird because first of all it appeared as the wishbone. So I thought, oh, it could be interesting, a real Make-A-Wish month. And then it changed into those sticks that are the same shape that if you find a twig and then you're looking for water underground. So there's kind of a connection there, like a wish and perhaps water connection. But maybe you're sort of fossicking for something and you find it. Something buried, something like that. It was strange that it changed from the wishbone into the water. I can't remember what they're called, but they're these, the two ends of the stick you hold on to, and the front end dips down to find the water underneath the ground. Oh gosh, the word's not coming to me at the moment, but it's for searching for water that's down in water bores and underneath the ground surface, so that you can bore down and find a natural water spring. And another thing I got was X marks the spot. So I was thinking either on a map, or you're signing where there's an X, there's some document that's important with an X on it. And I just heard X marks the spot. I heard it and then I saw it across as well. So are you signing an important document, or is there an important spot on the map that you're looking at? A little warning message that I got is I heard still waters run deep. So someone's not fantastic at communicating. Perhaps they're more of a person that sits back and thinks about things and doesn't say that much, but is quite sensitive. So just be careful with your temper, because I feel like this could frustrate you, and that you could sort of say something and it could kind of hurt their feelings. And really it was, this still waters runs deep, it's somebody more of that water sign energy, more emotional, and perhaps aren't as fiery as you with communication, or as much with the air signs, who are good communicators. They're more of a deep thinker, and you wanted a response from them in a certain way. So just manage that, your temper, and go a bit more gently. So they were the messages that I got from my scrying. So let's jump into the tarot portion and get our Halloweeny messages for you. All right, Saggies. So we've got an interesting set of cards here. It's funny because I've just done Scorpio's reading, and a couple of the cards, but in the opposite clarifying deck, came up. Justice, Eight of Cups kind of energy, and few of the so there's some energy that's kind of come up, but in opposite decks. And I think that's interesting, being that they're a buffering sign to you, or there could be a Scorpio that's of significance that's also around you or in your energy field. You have the Eight of Cups as the overall energy for the month of October. So this walking away energy, packing up her stuff. I've had enough, leaving the smoking cup here, and clarified here in the clarifying deck by the Strength card, which is sort of, for me, I always think about August and Leos with the Strength card because of the lion. And, you know, I find it's going to tie in quite interestingly with some of the messages that we had, and a few little warnings, things to look out for. We've got the first week's kind of energy, or the beginning of the month, the Devil clarified by the Magician. Then we have the Eight of Swords, and you got a bonus card that flew out of the deck, and I was confirmed that I should take that one as well. So you've got Dream, Seven of Cups. I thought this was funny because I was starting to yawn again when I was at the point to pull out that card, and Oppression, 10 of Wands. So they were the clarifiers for the Eight of Swords. Makes perfect sense to me. You had the Justice card, and that one was clarified by Protection, 10 of Pentacles. And then we had the Hermit card clarified by the Star card. So you've got a few of these major arcana on the table. You have the Devil, the Magician, Justice, Hermit, Star, Strength. So, you know, it's not going to be a small month by any means. It's going to have some big time energy around it. And then we finally finish up with our special message, the 8 card in this deck, Truth Revealed. So what can I say, Sagittarius? Look, first up, the messages that I was getting kept coming back with that watch your words. Also feeling like you're kind of something's irking you, and I think it's, you know, you've got this feeling of like, I want to walk away from this. I've had enough. But I'm just wondering if that's not, you know, a bit too soon and you don't have quite all of the information there. Also, I'm just underneath the Eight of Cups is the Two of Pentacles, and this feeling of juggling something, and there's a cat about to pounce on here, and I think it's going to go lopsided. That was the first thing that I saw, was the cat pouncing onto that and maybe upsetting the apple cart. The first week I saw the Devil coming out, and because it's with the Magician, I thought, oh, this does feel like it's a bit of sneaking energy. Now, I do kind of think there is a bit of Capricorn energy, so maybe this energy is going to last for a little while. But, you know, I just feel as though you're having trouble working out which way to head. So maybe it's that X marks the spot with the paperwork, and, you know, you're feeling like there's something maybe tricky in amongst it, a bit of temptation going on here too. If we're talking relationships, I'm going to say to you, you know, this temptation to walk away and maybe juggle or be the devil and have a bit of juggling going on, I would sort of caution against it, because that kind of energy doesn't ever turn out too well. And, you know, the Magician could be, you know, feeling as though you've got all your bases covered and like nobody will ever know. But actually, you know, it can be very revealed very easily. So you can see the cats are here clawing at the legs, like, you know, don't do it. Don't listen to the devil on your shoulder, you know, with the bag here of money and the tempting ice creams. You know, she's looking quite concerned, going, hey, come on, you know, don't be caught in the spell. And maybe that's why I was feeling that tiredness, was it felt like you were kind of that spell energy, like, blow it, I'm just going to take this temptation, you know, I'm feeling like I'm wanting to walk away, and I'm kind of, it's almost like right before the reward's about to come in, you've been given, there's a temptation coming. Just be careful not to go into that energy, Sagittarius, because there's so many things. Like I thought this volcano in the back here smoking, I just thought, gosh, it's about to erupt. Be take it as a bit of a caution, because the Magician, you have everything here that you need to get what you want. So it's just a timing thing. Can you perhaps sort of say to yourself, I've wait for a bit, see how things play out. Interesting about the bird and the feather, because first thing I was drawn to with this one was the little blue bird sitting up here on your Eight of Swords energy, which is coming into that kind of roughly second week of October. Here she is blindfolded and feels like she's tied to a scenario, and fitting in Eight of Cups, feeling walking away, and the eights coming in together. And this one just feeling very like, I don't have a good path here. I'm stuck. I'm tied to this. But really, you can see here this kitten, it's just as easy to push over one as having a bit of a, I wonder if I push this, then that's just going to fall over, and she could easily get rid of these binds by just, snipping them and be able to release her hands and take off her blindfold. And I feel like the little bird is here chirping and kind of sort of saying to her, hey, everything's okay, like kind of, just take the blindfold off, and you've got your broom here and your hat ready to take off. And Libra had this energy too. So I actually feel like the little bluebird here, this energy is a bit of a Archangel Michael, which Libra had as well, this kind of blue fiery flame energy that you could call upon to help you at this time when you're feeling, stuck, and as though you've got a bit of this energy here and like you're under a spell, because you're having trouble here in this dreamy Seven of Cups of deciding. And again, if it's relationships, don't be tempted by options, that are murky. If you're in a relationship and it might be just going through a bad patch, ride it out. Like, again, just be wary of expectations and communications, and not having that fiery temper, because, perhaps the person is contemplating and thinking here. And so the other one as well that I got with the Eight of Swords was the Ten of Wands. So again, this is this fiery fire sign wands energy here. And I felt drawn to this, like this feels like the Sagittarius sort of up here, not happy with how this is turning out. And the Ten of Wands, too many burdens and who knows which way to move. And it was almost like, gosh, I'm so over it. And that was how I took this one. Sometimes it's flipped the other way, but I thought this is the Sagittarius, sick of waiting and watching it all go wrong and thinking, what, I'm going to blow this. I'm just going to be going with this energy. And I just thought, like, how could you look at this differently and say, okay, actually there's one cup that I need here where I have everything. So, the other options are the wrong ones. Perhaps I can use my feather, my quill here. Very interesting that I've got this one sitting here. Maybe I can journal. Maybe I can use my ink here and write something down and have clarity. Perhaps a person is going to write a text message to you, or a letter or an email, and that's the way they're going to communicate when you want this fiery, quick message to come. And, maybe they're going to take their time. Maybe that's their style, that they take longer to communicate. So all of those things were coming to mind here. But, overall, I thought with this one, I just saw that little bluebird and thought, yep, that's going to be the thing to look out for. That little bird that's watching over you, that nice energy. And we come into this justice here for the next week, which I couldn't help but laugh when I saw these cats going for it here, and her with her one-eyed judgment here, you know, putting down the law. But I thought, oh, be careful, Saggies, when I said to watch that temper. There it is. There it is. Wanting to tear the other person apart. And, you know, they're gonna snap back. They're going to mirror you. And, you know, it could get ugly. Keep it balanced. Pull the blindfold off. You know, it's loosely attached. Pull it off. You know, have a good look. Be calm about it, because she's kind of, you know, in her shadow here, which we know the shadow energy, to me it looks like that devil kind of horns here, like, oh, okay, the shadow side of her could come out. This is Libran energy too, so, you know, it could be happening on that way heading into, it could be a Libran that you've got the problem with, could be a Capricorn, could be a Taurus, could be an Aquarius. You know, you've got your Leos here. And like I said before, I felt like there was some Scorpion energy going on. You've got a few bit of Aries, bit of everything happening here. So you've covered a lot of bases, could be fair few people. But yeah, please, you know, think about your words, and, you know, don't be one-eyed about with your judgment. You know, try to think of people from their perspective as well. You've got a beautiful clarifying card coming with this, protection, the 10 of Pentacles. And it's just gorgeous because I love the 10 of Pentacles. It's a very positive, happy relationship. So remember that, you know, relationships have protection around them. They are happy. If it's a tricky time, best to have that sort of beautiful, you know, this kind of energy where she's in her crafts and doing her relaxing, candles on, meditating, you know, take a chill pill, because that's how you'll protect your relationship as well from being disturbed. And, you know, I really did think that was also lovely for protection, for if you're signing any of those contracts or anything, you know, that's actually quite beautiful energy to have. Also here we have the Hermit. So this one I felt wonderful when I saw it, because I thought, okay, it's that lovely Taurusy earth energy. It's the beautiful side of Saggies when they like to actually, you know, a lot of the time Saggies are really fiery and they're go, 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 and they want to explore and go and do things, and they're you know, rush around and, you know, get as much, you know, see as many things as I can, do as much as I can. But, you know, the other side of them is the lovely contemplative, but get out in nature and, you know, yoga, meditation, you know, light a bonfire, camping, literally do some balancing of stones here. And you can see the cat is very content here. Just looks like she's meditating and looking at the flames for her answers. She's got the smoke protecting her, and a beautiful little owl up here. So again, that bird magic energy coming through. She's got her broomstick here ready for flight whenever she wants to take off, but she's just looking absolutely contented here. And all of this could be things that you could bring into the month of October, particularly towards the end. This will really, end of the month, this will really benefit you when you're feeling all topsy-turvy and like this, you know, energy's getting too much. Remember that, you know, yourself and the times when you go out into nature and you ground and you sit down on the earth and everything, that's when you're in your true best, and that's where you find balance, like we have here with the Star card. You know, the wonderful energy here, the water bearer, balance of emotions, I feel always with this card, because of the, you know, the tipping of the water jugs and going in. And I think, yeah, you know, it's nice emotional energy, very balanced Aquarius energy here. So good communication, you know, that young kind of fresh energy that can be brought into relationships or into any kind of projects. So this contemplation that you have will bring you the new ideas and creativity and freshness and the balance that you need, because, you know, things have been feeling like you've got the temptations and stuff going on and the frustration, this will pull you out of that and understand, okay, perhaps the communication style that I'm waiting for, it will come in if I just go into myself, wait, I can wait for this person to respond, in their style. That will get me the true idea of what they're really thinking. And, that's what you want to hear, really, instead of having this energy here of the Eight of Cups and, it's saying have the strength here. One more bird here watching over it, look how she's managing to tame the lion here, that controlled energy here where, have the strength to hold out and wait for these answers to come in a better way, because to have this feeling at the moment, you're feeling this Five of Pentacles left out in the cold, you don't have hardship, perhaps, not feeling like there's enough, got into that lack mentality, feeling like, things are not going the right way, but really you're just outside the wonderful warm doors and, help is just there. Don't get that feeling of failure and like things haven't worked out and I'm not doing well, because fate is going to head there. The Three of Wands, you're going to be able to collaborate, and then you're going to have this powerful Ace of Wands energy coming in. Classic fire sign, creative project, got it going, you've got everything, relationship style, really very great energy, powerful to come in, safe passages, calmer waters on the way, Six of Swords. So that's all that I'm seeing here, is to have the strength to, if you have to walk away from something, doing it with grace, that would be important. Or, perhaps wait for the whispers on the wind, wait for that extra messages to come through properly, so that you're not out of balance, so you don't have the cat jumping on you, because here we go, a King of Cups. So this could be your Scorpio, your Cancer, or your Pisces kind of energy, and emotional, and they're perhaps they're looking and waiting for the right time to give you their message. So, here's your Ace of Wands again, the same as what we were trying to get to down here. That powerful card, that's there underneath that. So we've got your Ace of Wands that could come in from doing the right thing and waiting out there. So there's options here, Sagittarius. You're not stuck. And of course, thank you, Janice, because you've tied it all in well with your truth revealed. And look how happy you are. When you realize, when you get all the information and the gifts come in, you're going to feel much better. And that is on its way. It takes time. You have to be in the right energy yourself to allow the space for the truth to come in. So don't rob yourself of the information and give up too soon, Saggies, because, I think it's going to be what you want to hear overall. It might look like a bit of a fish in a cup. It might look fishy. It could look like the devil's at work here, but I think you'll find that you're worrying about something that isn't really anything that necessarily needs to be worried over. So don't walk away from something that's good based on, having that sort of quick to anger and not really understanding someone else's communication style. Rest up, because I feel like you have been drained, and maybe that's affecting your energy and your frequency a bit. Bring up your vibration by getting out into nature, because that Hermit card, spending some time by yourself, is going to do you the world of good. Got everything that you need to bring in your fortunes. If the projects are taking some time, don't worry, the Star card's coming in. You're going to have it. 10 of Pentacles, it's all there. There's a lot of good cards. You've just got the mixture of the tricky energy which could throw you off. So focus on the positives and leave the negatives behind. I hope you have a wonderful October. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel, and thanks for your support. Thanks for listening. I hope you have a wonderful month and happy Halloween.